The largest retirement plan in the country is about to make the biggest jump in 4 decades. I'm talking about Social Security benefits. And beginning in January, those payments will increase by 8.7%, or an average of $140 a month. It's part of a Social Security annual cost of living adjustment, an adjustment that's meant to make sure recipients don't fall behind inflation. And with the highest inflation rate in 40 years, well, it stands to reason the 2023 COLA would be the highest since 1981. AARP Idaho says more than 370,000 Idahoans draw some form of a Social Security benefit. And this increase is one of the few breaks senior citizens who rely heavily on those funds are getting this economy. Here's Andrew Bartline.
The Social Security Administration office. They're slated to pay out big.
You can never complain about getting a few extra bucks, right?
Patrick Sheridan knows.
I'm just getting ready to set that up and start next year.
At the same time, Social Security benefits increased by 8.7%. Patrick will be one of more than 370,000 Idahoans reaping the benefits of a bigger payout.
Yeah, it's kind of unheard of. So I'll take 8-9% in a year. That's great.
But Pat sees it as a Band-Aid. He retired in 2016 and knows the pain of inflation and the force of a fickle financial state.
Some of our investments dropping, close to $300,000 in less than a 4-month, 6-month span. I don't think you ever anticipate that.
The uncertainty of Pat's private investments paying off isn't fixed by a larger Social Security sum.
Crushing people's 401ks and investments, and so it's not a pretty picture out there right now.
The picture condenses down to one number, an 8.2% inflation rate over the past 12 months.
It's important that we get inflation under control.
Idaho economics professor Stephen Peterson says the inflation rate is a massive concern. While it's a good thing Social Security adjusts their payments to keep up with inflation, the long-term viability of the program is in question early as 2035.
Social Security taxes at that time will only cover 3/4 of the benefits being paid out. And so there's the long-term issue of how we are going to pay for these increased benefits.
Benefits that AARP estimates will total $6.1 billion in payouts to Idahoans alone. They say it will stimulate the local economy.
New money to Idaho is always a good thing. So in that respect, they're correct.
Peterson doesn't expect the Social Security program to collapse anytime soon.
It's the worst that could happen is you might see a modest reduction in the stipend in real terms. In your stipend in real terms.
But he does say the economy is showing mixed signals, signaling to him a possible recession. And while a couple extra bucks is a benefit to future Social Security payouts, it doesn't serve a solution to the high inflation.
Not that problem, no.
Retired for 6 years, drawing a monthly payout, but still stuck, waiting to see if his hard work, his investments, will pay off too.
And just the uncertainty of things right now, it's causing us to draw back just a little bit and rethink things.
Professor Peterson says the COLA rate is largely based off CPIW, which is one of the Bureau of Labor Statistics measures for inflation. He says that figure historically skews high, so these COLA rates are probably dealing out more than is absolutely necessary to keep up with inflation. Now, Brian, Professor Peterson doesn't seem terribly concerned about that, but it is kind of an interesting thing to think about. And of course, there are concerns about Social Security, its longevity down the road. He thinks it's going to be fine. You either cut spending, you raise taxes, you kind of got to do one of them, which is hard because they're both pretty unpopular.
Well, this concern about Social Security, that's been going on for decades. From the 80s on, they've been talking about how long is it going to last. So I guess, as you said, you either got to cut the taxes or increase the taxes, or cut the spending to kind of make up for it. But it seems by 2035, it shouldn't be a problem or won't be a problem?
By 2035, he says what is paid into it is going to be about 3/4 of what's paid out of it. So at that point, he thinks it's going to be a little bit rocky.
It's a little off balance then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Andrew.